Infinix has released a couple new entry-level smartphones, and these are no doubt the thinnest smartphones we've seen in this segment so far. Meet the Infinix HOT 60 Pro with a frame that's a mere 6.6mm thin. There's also the HOT 60 Pro Plus variant that goes even thinner, measuring 5.95mm, which is insane for an entry-level phone. In today's video, though, we're focusing on the non-Plus version, but aside from having an insanely thin profile, what else does the Infinix HOT 60 Pro bring to the table? Let's find out in this full review. I'm your host Earl, and let's dive right in. Starting with the design, the Infinix HOT 60 Pro sports a minimalist look. Our unit is in titanium silver colorway, and no, it's not actually made of titanium. It features an all-plastic build instead. Unlike the HOT 60 Pro Plus version with curved sides, this guy opts for a flat edge design. Taking a closer look at the rear, the panel used here has a slight texture which is kind of like sandblasted to the touch. This makes it less prone to smudges, although with a phone this thin, I'd rather slap on the provided case for peace of mind. On the top left corner, you'll find the 3 squarish lenses, but don't be fooled, only one is an actual camera. We'll get to that in a bit. Notably, there's an orange accenting on the sides of the camera enclosure, adding a bit of flair to its overall look. Moving over to iOS, the power button alongside with the volume rocker and the so-called one-tap AI button are found on the right. There's the SIM tray with a dedicated micro SD card slot on the left. The top side houses a speaker grill for stereo audio, and at the bottom sees the second loudspeaker, USB-C port, a mic, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. For added protection, the phone comes with an IP64 rating for dust and splash resistance, so that's 2 fewer things to worry about. Flip the phone over, you're greeted by a large 6.78-inch LTPS AMOLED display with a crisp 1.5K resolution and a smooth 144Hz refresh rate. Surprisingly, the screen gets bright enough for outdoor use, providing 1600 nits high brightness mode and up to 4500 nits of HDR peak brightness. The viewing experience has been quite enjoyable on this phone. You get vivid colors, good contrast, and deep true black. Plus, there's widevine L1 support allowing for HD viewing on Netflix, and it can stream YouTube videos with up to 1440p quality. For the audio quality though, it is a bit mediocre in my opinion. The mids sound okay, but they get drowned out by the highs. Meanwhile, the lows are serviceable but not very punchy to my liking, and the overall audio is not as loud. Still, you can get a decent immersive audio experience with this phone as it features dual stereo speakers to boot. Besides, you also have the 3.5mm audio jack at your disposal, so you can just use your wired headphones or earphones whenever you like. For biometric security, the device supports under-display fingerprint sensor along with a face recognition. The former typically unlocks the phone by a split second, and that's fast enough in our experience. Now, let's talk about the camera performance. Like I mentioned earlier, despite the triple rear looking camera setup, only one is an actual camera, and that's a 50-megapixel sensor. The brand did not specify what the other sensor does, but it's most likely an auxiliary lens as with most entry-level phones these days. Images captured from the HOT 60 Pro generally look decent. The details are sharp enough, the colors are near accurate, and they've got decent contrast. We must say the image processing applies a cooler tone on most of the shots, and under low light scenarios, you will see the noise creeping in. But that's a given for entry-level smartphones such as the HOT 60 Pro. Still, the overall image quality is decent enough for casual snaps, provided you take photos in well-lit environment. When it comes to video, the HOT 60 Pro also does a decent job. This sounds like a surprise, but the phone can capture footage with up to 2K resolution at 30 frames per second. There's no OIS here, so your shots may be a bit shaky. You can toggle ultra steady mode to stabilize video, though it automatically lowers the resolution to 1080p at 30 frames per second. Overall, the video quality itself is alright. In terms of processing power, just like with most entry-level smartphones, you may have to set your expectations. The Infinix HOT 60 Pro is powered by the MediaTek Helio G200, and our unit comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of expandable storage, which is always a plus in our book. Taking a look at our benchmark results, the phone managed to get respectable scores across the board. In Antutu, it scored almost 500,000 points, which is a solid score for its class. Read and write speeds are solids, and apps open quickly in my experience. However, when it comes to graphical tasks like 3D Mark, the phone struggles to get higher scores, which is understandable considering this is an entry-level smartphone. We did try playing Wuthering Waves, and while it is playable in a very low graphic settings, it wasn't really a satisfying experience. For more casual games though, like Asphalt Legends Unite, the phone manages to deliver stable frame rates. The same goes for mobile titles like Mobile Legends, albeit your combos may not be as fast nor smooth to pull off. That said, the chipset will do just fine on light usage like browsing the web, doom scrolling on socials, or even productivity tasks. Software-wise, the Infinix HOT 60 Pro runs on the latest Android 15 with XOS 15 on top. You can appreciate the snappy animations as well as the refined UI design. There's even some blur effects on the notification and control panels, and that is something you don't normally see in its price range. Of course, a lot of bloatware apps can be seen here. Some of them are only removable from the home screen while others can be uninstalled completely. Unfortunately, there's no mention how long the phone will get software support. Notably, the HOT 60 Pro comes with a suite of nifty AI features including its own voice assistant, a writing companion, and an AI editor within the Gallery app. And remember the one-tap AI button? Well, it mainly does two things. Long press to launch the AI voice assistant, and double press to quickly open any app or shortcut you've remapped the button to. It can also be used as a shutter button, but it's rather redundant since the volume down button basically does the same thing. Moreover, the button is positioned too close to the center, making it impractical for shooting content in landscape orientation. Going back to software, XOS is pretty light, offering lots of functional tools and features. Given the phone's entry-level nature, the software experience is quite good in my opinion. What's really interesting about this phone is despite its razor-thin profile, it still packs a 5160 mAh battery, which is even slightly larger than the usual capacity. That said, it does offer a solid battery life, surpassing 13 hours and 14 minutes in our PC Mark battery life test. Actually, battery life depends on how you use your device. Since I don't do many graphic-heavy tasks, I felt like the phone actually lasted longer than that. If ever the battery runs out, it has a 45 watts of fast charging that gets the battery to full in just about an hour. And just like most Infinix phones, this one also gets bypass charging support. Connectivity-wise, you're getting all the essentials here, including 4G LTE, Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.4, and NFC. Moreover, there's also the addition of an IR blaster allowing the phone to be used as a universal remote. In our testing, it appears that the third camera lens at the rear actually houses the IR blaster. As for the remote control app itself, it's a bit tricky to find at first, but it's stuck away inside Infinix's own app, WeLife. Now we've come to the last part of this review. Let's talk about the price. As of making this video, Infinix has yet to reveal the pricing of the Infinix HOT 60 Pro. However, we can refer to the last year's model, which was priced at 8,499 pesos, and that's even the Pro Plus version, mind you. So the pricing should be less, if not the same as before. Under that price range, the Infinix HOT 60 Pro is surprisingly packed with the good stuff that you would typically see in higher-end models. It comes with a crisp and bright 1.5K AMOLED screen, a decent camera performance, and a feature-rich software experience among others. Best of all, the slim profile really sets the Infinix HOT 60 Pro apart from the rest of the competition. It even outperforms some more expensive models under the 15,000 peso mark. I'm looking at you, Oppo A series. Wrapping this up, the Infinix HOT 60 Pro is definitely one to recommend if you're looking for an entry-level phone that punches well above its weight class. But what do you guys think of the Infinix HOT 60 Pro? Will you get this one anytime soon? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this video helpful or informative, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Don't forget to follow us on our socials and visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Earl, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.